var. Se var. Se var. Bahemiram. Seba. 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 Seba.
Special event! Get the muse here!
Yeah, say so.
There we go.
Hello, everybody. Hi. How are you today? Thank you for coming out to the stream. This is the final day of the World of Wild series that we've been doing this week. Exploring the ecosystem of Monster Hunter Wilds while also raising money for the World Wildlife Fund UK branch. And with me today, I am totally messing everything up right now. Morwin. Is that the correct name?
In game, yes.
In game. Okay, Morwin. Let me make sure I get your actual name correct. Wolven.
Yes.
All right, Wolven with us today. I don't know why I totally froze. I'm so good at performing that I forget everything.
Hey, it's the morning. It's fine.
That, yes, we'll blame the morning. It's the sun messing everything up. But hello, we are here today with Wolven, and we are going to be exploring the final zone in Monster Hunter Wilds, the ruins of Wyveria. What's very interesting is they actually kept this whole zone relatively hidden. They talked about every other zone, but we only saw like parts of this zone, but they never told us anything about it. So it seemed like, this was clearly the perfect place to kind of end our series, because there's a lot of very interesting history and just a lot of very interesting things here in general that will teach us a lot about not only this particular zone, but will teach us a little bit about all the zones, which is really, really cool. So we are raising money for the World Wildlife Fund, specifically the UK branch, and this stream is part of the Virtually Unstoppable event put together by Petrichoral, and our goal is we want to try and raise 100 British pounds. I think that's what it is. Yeah, 100 British pounds.
Yes.
The overall goal for the whole charity was actually to raise 5,000, which we have actually smashed. I think we're actually almost at 8,000, which is really cool.
I think we actually hit the mark today. Is 8,000.
Oh, we hit 8,000. Oh my good. We have absolutely smashed the goal. So if you've been checking out any of the other streams, you guys are awesome. Real quick, I'm going to show you guys some of the incentives we got here today. I kind of wish I had a cross out thing for the first goal. We have raised 15 pounds so far. And so the next goal is at 25 pounds. We're gonna do a crocodilian tier list, then a presentation on my favorite animal, which you guys definitely will never guess what my favorite animal is. And at 75, I'll hold a sort of vote for what chat's favorite animal is, and we'll do something for that. And then at 100, you guys will get to vote for a rage game for me to play. Individual incentives that we have. At 5 pounds, we'll do a selfie with a monster. Just make sure you specify if you want me to do it or if you want Morwin to do it. At 10 pounds, David Attenborough voice for 15 minutes. We'll both try our best with that, but I think it's pretty interesting. The 20-pound mark for individual incentive is one of us will do a Steve Irwin impression. Now, what does that entail? I don't know. You'll just have to donate to find out. But I'll tell you, it is very funny. It is very, very funny. So, now that we got that out of the way, I would like to introduce our co-host here today, Wolven. Hi, Wolven. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm still sleepy Bane. I literally woke up. I was just like, I need to go to bed early, and then I need to wake up, even though it's the weekend, because I'm excited.
Yeah.
But it's still early for me.
Oh man, did you at least get a little bit of coffee, or are you not a coffee drinker?
I don't drink coffee, but I have Pepsi.
Oh heck yeah! You got the Pepsi, or as VTubers sometimes call it, Beppis.
I think it's a Pepsi Cola. I don't know. Yeah, it's the newer weird one, but I'm like, I just literally went to the fridge and grabbed it, and I'm like, okay, this works.
You know what? Whatever works, right? As long as you're just like, all right, I'm here, we're ready to go.
Exactly. But I am a brand new, well, not brand new, but I am still a baby hunter. My first Monster Hunter game was World. So coming to Wilds was very nice. It's not as oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh no, what happened?
I can't dodge very well.
Well, you know, that's okay. It's okay. Everyone starts somewhere.
So, my husband is the one that introduced me to Monster Hunter. It is one of his favorite series. So, World, we started playing together, and then Wilds came out. He literally is, I think, almost a little bit near your level.
Ooh.
But I'm still like, I'm just baby. I take my time. I'm enjoying the story, and just trying not to die.
You know, that, in my opinion, that's kind of the best way to go about playing these games. A lot of times, and I'm going to go off on a slight rant here, is sometimes I feel like a lot of people in some games, particularly multiplayer games, are like, you have to play this way because this is the best way to play, and that's not Monster Hunter to me. Monster Hunter is like, make the armor you want, make the weapon you want, and try to have as much fun as you can. That's my big thing, because there's a lot of really cool things just to kind of engage with in this game. Like, if you want to be super, like, well, not necessarily competitive, but if you want to, like, try to be the best hunter you can be, there's a lot of things you can engage with. If you want to just go around capture endemic life because it's all very cute, you can engage with that. It has a little bit of something for everybody.
I really enjoy it a lot because, like, World is fun, don't get me wrong, but it is definitely a lot more. You really need to know how to do your weapons and everything, and like the combat is more clunkier. It's older, so
yeah,
that's what it is. But this, I'm just like, aha, I can swap between weapons. That's, my brain is used to that, because like my hubby was just like, you don't need to swap between the weapons if you don't want to. But I'm like, I'm used to that. I'm used to swapping weapons. If I need to be long range, I'll switch to a long range weapon. But I am enjoying this so much, and I like that they added the Sekret, because I'm just like, it's cute, and also I definitely dodge better on her than trying to dodge myself.
You know, I really like that they added the Sekret. Did you play Monster Hunter Rise by chance?
I haven't played Rise yet. My hubby did get me Monster Hunter Stories, where you're actually more like fighting with the monsties.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah, Monster Hunter Stories, in a nutshell, is basically Monster Hunter if it was Pokemon.
Yes.
So I mean, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun as well. Rise is like a more traditional Monster Hunter game, kind of like this. It's a little more. I guess the best way to describe it is a little more arcadey, but the Sekret is actually kind of an evolved form of the Palamute, which in Rise you could ride a dog, like kind of a large dog called a Palamute, and the Sekret's kind of the evolution of that. I like the Sekret more personally because you can do a lot more on the Sekret than you can on the Palamute, but it's an interesting game. What's kind of cool is Rise is definitely the sort of like midway point between, or actually let me rephrase that. Wilds is the midway point between World and Rise. Because like Rise is very, very arcadey. it has a lot more of a focus on combat and just shiny things. World is a lot more about the environment, and Wild is kind of like a mix between the two in a sense.
It is, and they did amazing though. I'm enjoying it a lot, especially the different areas. I don't like being cold, so I knew that from World. Like, you have to have your cold drink and stuff, but I'm just like, damn it. I want to be in the cold.
Well, the nice thing about Rise is you actually don't have to worry about hot drinks or cold drinks in that game. So that's pretty fun. Excuse me, I was taking a quick drink. If you guys are here hanging out, make sure you have something to drink next to you. If you don't, I'll know. But what's your favorite monster in this game so far? What's been your favorite monster?
Nuidra.
Nuidra? Oh,
yes.
Awesome. You are a kindred spirit because I love Nuidra too. Nuidra is so cool.
The first time I saw it in the story, when it was like the black flame, I'm like, oh, you're an octopus. You're a black shadowy octopus. Gib gib. And then I was just like, my sister, who is also an avid Monster Hunter player, she's like, no, you can't have that. It turns into a flaming wheel of death. And I'm just like, bet, give it to me again. That's my baby. That's mine.
Have you actually seen what the baby Nuudra looked like?
I've seen the artwork of it. I haven't actually seen it in game yet. And I was just like, but when one of my other VTuber friends told me that you could actually catch the baby Nuidras, I was just like, oh,
yes, you
give
can.
it to me.
Yes, you can. If we have some time today, I will show you where they are.
Yay! I love them so much. I don't like. You would think because I like the Nuidra, I would like the other one, the other big octopus in this game. No.
The other octopus in this game, I think, is. I'm not sure if you've played any like Souls games, but
yes,
this Zuwu is very much Bloodborne coded, in my opinion.
It is
very Bloodborne coded.
I'm like, no, leave me alone. I already have PTSD from Elden Ring.
It's just, yeah, you see that and I'm just like, oh my god, this looks just like a Bloodborne boss. Oh my goodness. It's a very interesting thing.
I can't remember what I called it. I was playing with hubby and he was just like, why did you call it that? I'm like, because it's ugly. Get it away from me. I don't like it.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. One more thing I would like to actually tell everybody in chat. I want to thank you guys all for being here today. I would also like you guys to know that because this is a collab, I might not be able to acknowledge every single thing that you guys talk about and every single thing that you guys do, like follow or, sub or anything like that. I will do my best to make sure I acknowledge every single donation to the charity. But again, because this is a collab, my attention is kind of divided amongst 3 different things right now. So we will do our best, but I want you guys to know that I love you all very much and thank you for being here today.
Peace. Also, because on my end, I want to make sure that the game does not go burnt on my PC. Obviously, I am PNG. So any donations to the charity on my end, obviously I will acknowledge, and I will be noting it down if you hit the personal incentives, besides the stuff for specifically our stream today, for the selfie, Steve Irwin impression and all that stuff. If you hit any of my personal goals, I will keep note of that. But I am running the bare minimum on my PC to make sure that everything goes smoothly as possible.
Mm-hmm. Also, please ignore what I just did.
You're good.
Let me see. if you are actually streaming, there is something else we can do. I'm going to do this real quick. Start shared chat. I am going to do this real quick. But okay, I just sent you something. I did the shared thing so we could share our chats together if you would like.
Okay, give me a second. I have to open up Chrome. Because apparently I forget that it doesn't do Opera.
No, this is a tragedy, Twitch. Why are you like this? Twitch!
I know, like, you would think that they would allow Opera for this, but they're like, no. Second.
And if only they could make things easy, right? But nah.
No.
Things
They
are
don't
not
make
allowed
things
to be
easy.
easy.
They are not allowed to be easy at all. Where is my authenticator? There you are.
Every time I send a message and see you look to the side to read it. I do that sometimes. I have a sort of habit about that. Part of it is like ADHD. I'll like, as soon as I see something out of the corner of my eye like pop up, I'm just like, it just turned right away. No, controller, you're not supposed to turn off. That's against the law.
It's against the law.
Against the law, controller, you're not supposed to do that. So I don't know if you've used the shared chat before, have you?
I have not. This is my first time.
Okay, the only thing I will say is the little window that has our information, do not close that, because if you close that, share chat goes away.
Yep.
So you just got to keep that open. Otherwise, it's totally fine. Yep.
Okay.
But yep, we got share chat open now. It looks like everything is running good. Thank you again, everybody, for being here today. And honestly, you can use either donation link. You can use Wolven's or mine. It doesn't really matter. All of it goes to the same place. And frankly, all we care about is making sure that we can help the conservation of our fur babies, our scaly babies, our multi-leg babies, our slimy skin amphibian babies. Am I missing any babies?
No. Even the creepy crawly ones.
Yep, even the creepy crawly babies, all of the babies. All right, we're making sure that we're helping with the conservation of that, as well as the conservation of environments and the education about our environment and all of our various babies. Microscopic babies, yes.
Even if we don't like some of the babies, we need them and they need us.
Mm-hmm.
Or else, planet's not gonna be fun to live on.
True, very much so. So, okay. I think maybe we should probably head out, and I think we actually have the perfect creature that we could follow a little bit if you guys are interested. Why don't we follow this Ebony Odogaron?
It's an epi. Where is my little... Where are you? You know what? I'm just gonna follow you.
That's perfectly fair.
I don't know where I'm going. Wait, where are you, Ebony?
Oh.
Where are you, baby? There. No, that is an Anjanath. Anjanath? Aha, ha, ha.
If luckily the Ebony Odo is right out here.
Aha, I pinned it. There we go. Now I got it. Okay, nope, that is not how... Nope. There we go.
Oh, he's angry at me already. No, please. Okay, Gilly Mantle. You can't see me. Okay, so this is a very violent beginning to this game.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
I've already
Let
put
me
on
also
my
do-
ghillie mental. I was too scared of it. So, okay. So,
Oh, wait.
two things.
Oh.
Two things I have learned so far. One, this is a Silver Crown Ebony Odo. And two, it is very aggressive. Because I walked
Wait,
up and it
how
was
do
like, I want to kill you.
Some materials too.
Oh, those usually are, but how do you know if it's a silver crown? That's my thing. People have talked about silver and gold crowns, and I'm like, how do you tell?
So, if you actually go to your item bar, there's an item called the binoculars. And then when you activate the binoculars, you can actually look at the monster and it'll tell you its size.
Oh.
And usually it'll have like a little crown next to it.
Oh.
If it fits the size requirements for a crown, it'll tell you that. That's actually something that they brought into this game, which is very new. So, another thing that is actually new to this game is the concept of guardian monsters. So, I'm actually going to take a look at our field guide real quick. The Guardian Ebony Odo. Guardian Ebony Odo is an artificial monster species created by an ancient civilization and imbued with Ebony Odogaren's power. Guardian Ebony Odogaren cannot produce and do not require food, relying instead on wyvern milk for energy. They attempt to corner their targets with flurries of attacks from their well-developed claws and tail. I'm sorry, I think I interrupted you and I apologize for that.
No, you're good. But no, I was like, I hope the internet doesn't come over here, because I think it's going to.
Uh-oh.
There's also a Guardian Anjanath.
Uh-oh. Guardian. Yep, I see there's a Guardian Fulgur Anjanath down at the bottom. Luckily, it seems to be pretty far down, so I don't think it'll come attack us. There is a possibility this Guardian Doshiguma will come. So in Wyveria, we are surrounded by these kind of glowing areas here. As you watch us like walk across it, it actually kind of like moves around a lot. This is called wyvern milk, or I guess a wyvern milk deposit, and this is primarily what the guardian monsters will feed off of.
And if we do try to fight them, which we are not doing today, once you injure them enough, they come over here and heal up.
Mm-hmm. They will do what is called the suck. The big suck. They do the big suck in this area, and it kind of restores their power. If you hurt them enough, they kind of lose their wyvern milk. What's it called? Their wyvern milk empowerment.
Which is the blue markings on the monsters.
Another thing is we'll take a look at some of the structures here. You kind of notice there's a lot of these like almost kind of cloth-like structures around here. It looks like these are probably part of a lot of the guardian monster cocoons that have just sort of, you know, they've kind of just draped over a lot of these things. And another thing is you notice that a lot of the structures here are actually very man-made looking, you know, probably because this is the ruins of the ancient civilization of Wyveria.
And there's a turf war going on.
Oh, there is. Wait, who's it between?
The Anjanath and the Doshigama?
Oh, okay. Or it's either the...
It said, where is it?
Wait, how do
I think it is.
Oh.
The Anjanath is running at him.
Oh.
My map.
Uh-oh. So what's kind of interesting about these guardian monsters is that, as it said in the monster field guide, they don't require food and they don't reproduce traditionally. But another thing is that these guardian monsters were sort of they're kind of programmed. So if you play through the story of Monster Hunter Wilds, you find out that the ancient Wyverians they created these guardian monsters because there was a, they created them because they were like, we want to have these monsters here to protect us. So they're very much monsters that have their original kind of like behaviors of the monsters are modeled after, but they didn't really like hunt the Wyverians. At least at the moment, they didn't hunt the Wyverians. They hunt us because they're like, who the hell are you? So another thing that we can take a look at actually is there are some cocoons in this area. If we walk around, we'll see if we can find them.
Over here.
Oh, Werner, I'm sorry. Nobody cares about you over there.
I spotted an ancient relic.
We do not.
An ancient relic. Oh, you spy an ancient relic? Interesting. I'm gonna get this mining real quick because my cat was like, "Get the mining." So if we come down here, we start seeing that. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No, I found some stuff that I needed.
Well, there we go. I'm glad we're exploring. We're finding stuff. So as we come down here, one thing to notice is that there's this kind of a mixture between natural and unnatural. So you can see that we have these trees growing, but one thing that I'm not actually sure about, but I have a bit of a theory about, is that these trees here, they might be guardian trees, for all we know, because they have the same coloration of wilk they have the same coloration of wilk, as well as having sort of same kind of coloration of the guardian monsters, which maybe these trees were man-made to kind of help the guardian monsters, help the sort of primal instincts of the guardian monsters that, the monsters are based off of, to feel more at home,
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I find that's kind of interesting here. If we walk around here, we start seeing that some of these trees also have, or some of these like tree roots may have kind of a thin layer of wilk. If you look around, they have these sort of like bumpy ridge things that are similar to kind of wilk that we've seen in other areas, like the Windward Plains, like in the Oil Well Basin and things like that, because this is where all this stuff kind of originates. This is where the wilk originates. I agree. Thank you, Big Pig, for being here today. I appreciate it. They were in the Oil Well Basin.
Binky.
Oh, there's a big boy here. So if you look here is our guardian Fulgur Anjanath, which is a recently discovered guardian. It looks like it's having a bit of a territorial dispute with the Guardian Sacred, which that's definitely something that is a very interesting kind of guardian that they made. They made these little Guardian Sacreds here.
Ooh.
One thing you gotta be... I'm sorry, go ahead.
He is very hurt.
Yeah, he is not happy with the Guardian Sacreds messing with him. What's been particularly interesting here is that because these Guardians were part of the ancient Wyveria civilization, it is theorized that while these Guardians are continuously coming out of the cocoons, which we will see in a minute, because they come out into what's these sort of like ruins, but also this sort of like drastically changed area to be kind of natural and man-made, it's almost like they're reverting more to their original monsters' behaviors. So you can see here, this Guardian Anjanath is a little bit territorial. So why don't we take a look here at the monster guide and see what it says about our Guardian Fulgur Anjanath, if I can see it. Artificial monster species created by the ancient civilization and infused with Fulgur Anjanath's power. Guardian Fulgur Anjanath cannot or cannot reproduce and do not require food instead of relying on wyvern milk for energy. Not only can the lightning charged in their bodies be released as an attack, they can be used to empower themselves and perform vicious biting attacks. So, you know, the big difference between a Fulgur Anjanath and a regular Anjanath is regular Anjanath like to spit fire at things, but Fulgur Anjanath harnesses the power of electricity to kind of empower itself. So it's a lot more of a... It uses its body a lot more than, like, an Anjanath.
Yeah.
So, if we follow this Fulgur Anjanath, we might actually see it kind of do some stuff. Another thing that a lot of the monsters do, which is something that they brought about in World, is monsters kind of leave traces of things that it does. You can see here this actually like kill the Guardian Sacred. That's pretty scary. What are these little guys attacking? Hang on, I'm gonna actually look and see if I can figure out what these guys are. So these are called Porcuplum. So it's these kind of like spiky little bird guys. Oh,
Generally, though, they leave. I was about to say they leave them alone, but I don't know if that one's. Oh.
we got to be careful. We don't want to aggravate him. So we're gonna try and keep our. Oh no.
Okay. Nope.
I know. I don't want to see Quest Alma. I'm sorry. So while Wolven is Wolven is actually like running away from this monster, I think there's actually something here on the ground that I can look at. Maybe we can find out a little more about our Fulgur Anjanath friend. Excavation traces. So it looks like the Guardian. It looks like the Guardian Fulgur Anjanath.
I don't have time for you.
It looks like the Guardian Fulgur Anjanath will kind of dig into the ground to look for stuff here, or it'll dig into the ground to kind of get a little bit of the fur that it has. It gets kind of the fur off of its body if it's like shedding. Uh-oh. Oh! Why are you right here? Oh my god, I just jumped down right here. Holy crap. Oh,
I'll go after you.
It is a vicious boy. Vicious boy. Another thing, if you actually look at a lot of the no. I'm trying. Okay, Fulgur, can you please like cooperate with me real quick? I'm trying to show these lovely people interesting things about you. If you notice, its eyes are actually totally black. I wonder why that is, personally.
It does not want to cooperate at all.
Nope, it is a pretty vicious guy. It's almost like anytime a Guardian monster sees something that is not Wyverian, it gets very angry. Uh-oh. Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. I'm just a little guy. I'm just a little guy. Oh wait, my Gilly Mantle's up. Ha! You can't see me now.
I know, that's what I did, is I instantly put it on. I was just like, nope, don't. You don't see me. Don't see me, no.
Can't see me. Oh, my food buff ran out. I should probably eat some food real quick. Grill a meal. I'm going to have fish. Oh my god, why do I have so much fish?
Were you fishing a lot?
I don't know. I mean, I have 1,130. I have 1,130 fish. I don't know why I have that much. I guess I have.
Like you were fishing a lot.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes when I do things in this game, I turn my brain off and I don't actually know what I'm doing. I'm just like, I'm like staring at the screen, but I don't know what I'm actually doing.
No, I just love that we just both was like, oh, we need to eat food.
Yeah.
Just right next to the Guardian Anjanath.
It's okay, you know, and I have my ghillie mantle on, so I'm not afraid at all.
Mine just worn off.
I think if we go down here, we're gonna find some of these guardian cocoons. Ah, yes, here we go. Oh, there's the guardian ebony odo. Okay, we're gonna have to be real sneaky like. If we want to observe these guardian cocoons, we're gonna have to be real sneaky against this guardian ebony odo. Oh, it looks like it's scratching at the ground. One other thing that's actually pretty interesting about guardian monsters, if you normally when you use dung pods, it'll make a monster kind of like run away, and you know, because it's like, I don't like the smell of poop. That doesn't work on guardian monsters, actually. Guardian monsters do not care. If you throw poop at them, they're like, I smell nothing. You know what? I might
stay in the corner over here. I don't have my ghillie mantle, so I'm just like, I'm gonna be in the far back.
I'm gonna be a little brave, and I'm gonna show everybody something about the guardian monsters real quick. I'm going to shoot a dung pod at it, and I want you to notice the little prompt that comes up. So check this out. Oh wait, nothing happened. Wait, no, something's supposed to happen. Hang on.
Oh, it happened on my end. It said stench, no effect.
Yep.
Oh, well, Anky.
Okay, he's Anky. He's Anky at me. It's fine. I'll be fine.
Yep.
Why is it not showing up on my end? That's weird. Well, if you guys are also watching Wolven's stream, you'll see a little thing that comes up that says stench, no effect. Basically, these guys do not care about poop. They don't care at all. They're like, yeah, you see you see this poop. I know you're throwing this poop at me. I don't care. So, kind of the best thing you can do is either wait for it to run away or you run away yourself.
Oh, it knew where you're going.
Oh, no, it knows. What's interesting is ebony odos are actually very, very good at tracking down their targets. They are relentless. And that's just something that the guardian ebony odo got from an ebony odo. Oh, is it following you now?
Yep.
Uh-oh. We are having a very interesting time, everybody.
Sweet.
Okay, ebony odo. Leave us alone. We aren't doing nothing, do ya? We ain't doing nothing.
So go back to sniffing. You're fine.
Sniffing. So if we look here in this kind of like center column, we see this very elaborate structure, and this is part of what's called the dragon torch.
Hey, can we... Nope.
Oh, okay, you need to stop. Oh, this is actually a very interesting thing we can look at here. So guardian monsters, because they're empowered by Wilk, if they attack you with a what's called a Wilk empowered attack, they kind of make these fun little structures here. And another fun little thing about these structures, if I can find it.
You guys are fine.
So if you take elementally infused pod and you shoot these Wilk structures, they explode. So that's just one of the kind of weird little things about... Oh, ow. Why are you doing this to me? What have I done to you? Okay, you know what? Don't answer that question. But yeah, these those little like Wilk structure things that come out, you can actually
Did the Obi just flashbang itself? It did. It just flashbanged itself.
It might have. You know, while the guardian monsters are very, very good at protecting stuff, they may not be the smartest.
Nope, Hades, stop it.
Oh, Hades. Oh no, what's Hades doing? Oh, Hades is like, no, I'm gonna beat the crowd. Oh, I might have accidentally. Oh, there's the Gypceros right there. So another thing that's kind of interesting that has been a semi-recent development here in the the ruins of Wyveria is tempered monsters from other regions will come here. So while there's a lot of guardian monsters, and there is another monster that eats guardians, which hopefully we'll see later, the Zuwu.
He actually left. We have to do a the David Attenborough impression, which is gonna be interesting. We got 15 pounds.
Oh, the David. Okay, hang on. Let me let me get into character. David Attenborough.
Be British? I don't know.
One of the things to consider here with these Guardian Secrets is they are trying very hard to attack us right now. It is part of their Guardian programming, you could say, to attack anyone who is not part of the ancient Wyverian Empire. It is quite an interesting development here. To be attacked by these creatures, even though we mean them no harm, just because of who we are.
I do not realize that we're just here to observe. Once, at least. Oh.
I hope they don't. We're going to have to use the environment around us in an effort to get away from these guardian monsters. As we go down, we start finding that this wonderful structure here, the Dragon Torch, becomes more and more bright, and some of the areas of Wilk become more and more volatile. One thing to consider here is, why was this Dragon Torch made? Why were these guardian monsters made? It is said in some of the scriptures made by the old historians who have studied the Wyvern civilization. There was an old ancient war that was happening with what we theorize is elder dragons. And these guardian monsters were made to try and protect them from this war. That being said, there is something said that one creature they made was ultimately their downfall. I wasn't sure if I interrupted you. I apologize.
No. You're gonna just like, you're about to run into the I don't know how to say that one's name.
Gypceros.
Yes. I was like, oh no.
This Gypceros. It's a what a strange monster.
I didn't know that it had a fake death.
That is actually one of the interesting things. So Gypceros is a monster that's actually from the first generation of Monster Hunter games. And at least one of the nice things that I have noticed so far is Gypceros does not steal items from you like it does in older games. Like in older games, it can actually steal items from you. But it did keep its fake death animation. So like when it fakes its death, you can carve it, but you can only carve it 3 times, and hopefully you can get out before it hits you. Another interesting thing about Gypceros is it's got this like hollow stone thing on its head that I think holds a light crystal. Mm-hmm. And it'll activate it to kind of make a huge flashbang to then, disorient any predators and get away from them. That being said, it doesn't always work on some monsters like Nursilla, which is the natural predator of a Gypceros.
And its tail actually grows longer.
It's a rubbery boy. He's a funny rubbery boy.
I was like, what is this? And then my hubby was just like, wait, did you not know that it has a fake death? And I'm like, no, I just put after it until the quest was done. And he's just like, oh, you weren't fooled. And I'm like, I didn't realize.
Well, to be fair, Gypceros was not in World and Gypceros was not in Rise, so you would only know if you had played anything from like Generations Ultimate or before.
Yes.
So I do not blame you for not knowing. Let's see.
Dogomasha just literally walked past us at that one point, and I was just like, I was right next to you, and he's just like, I'm just gonna waddle this way, and I'm just like, okay, you go do that, sir.
The Guardian. Okay, so to me, Guardian Doshiguma is actually kind of scary. It is a more difficult monster to fight than a regular Doshiguma, in my opinion. Mostly because it gives you like a defense down debuff, and also its attacks are a little weird. It moves a little weird. Oh wait, was something flying down here? Oh my god. So here we're actually around a whole bunch of very large guardian cocoons.
Which is
If we're lucky, if we're lucky at some point today, we might actually see a monster come out of the guardian cocoons, which is actually something.
I love in the story when you first see the I was just like, when you first see the Anjanath and the cocoon, I was just like, I know that shape. I didn't know it was this Anjanath because I'd never faced this one before. But I'm like, wait, that's an Anjanath. And then it came out, I'm like, wait, no, it's Lightning Anjanath. What are you?
So what's interesting is Fulgur Anjanath actually first appeared in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. I personally like Fulgur Anjanath more than regular Anjanath, so I was very happy that they included Fulgur Anjanath. Also, Ebony Oda Garen first appeared in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, so that was also very fun for me because I like Ebony Odo more than regular Oda Garen. I like both of the Oda Garens, but one just edges out the other a little bit. Okay, hang on. I need to look at this because maybe it's just because I'm lucky with my computer graphics, but this shadow being cast by the Fulgur Anjanath here on the wall was actually such a cool shot for a second, and then it ruined it by walking towards the wall. Why would you do this, Fulgur Anjanath? You ruined my shot. Okay, here we go. Look at how cool this shot is here of this shadow of the Fulgur Anjanath shadow on the wall. I don't know why, but it makes me think of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it does.
It's very cool.
Look, you can see vague outlines of the dormant guardians in their cocoons.
That is true. Okay, so if you look here... Oh.
If you look there, Gravy decided to go say hello.
Oh. Okay. Now that I have this thing on, I can show you guys. So...
Nope.
Oh no. Are you okay?
Nope. I'm good. It didn't hit me. I'm gonna go this way. Whoop!
So if you guys take a look here, like Almost said, you can actually see dormant guardians inside of these cocoons. They're just kind of hanging out there. If we're lucky, at some point, we will actually be able to see a guardian hatch. And this is primarily how the guardians are made. They are formed inside these cocoons and then they hatch. Obviously in the Monster Field Guide, they're like, these are artificial monsters. They cannot reproduce and they don't eat. So, this is how they come to be. They are formed from large amounts of bioenergy created by the Dragon Torch, which also creates the Wilk. The Dragon Torch is something that is still a highly debated topic on whether it should be destroyed or not. Only because there are some things about the Dragon Torch that are very, very, very concerning. That being said, if we did destroy the Dragon Torch, it would basically destroy the entirety of the Forbidden Lands.
Because the Dragon Torch, aka the Wilk, essentially controls the seasons around here.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the season of plenty. Right. I can't remember the other ones, but they're like, oh, if we just destroy it, it gets rid of the guardians, but if we destroy it, it destroys essentially this whole entire ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. The 3 seasons are the Season of Plenty, the Season of Fallow, and then there is one called Inclemency. The Inclemency kind of talks about the different, like, really, really, really big seasonal change that happens in each of the zones. So for the Windward Plains, it's the Sand Tide. For Scarlet Forest, it's the Downpour. For Oilwell Basin, it's Fire Spring. For Ice Shark Cliffs, it is, I think it's just called, like, I don't know, it's some kind of blizzard, I think. And there is actually an inclemency in the ruins of Wyveria called the Wyvern's Awakening, which is when the very dastardly monster that put an end to the ancient civilization of Wyveria becomes active. I will not say the name of this monster because I don't know how many people have actually been through the story yet. So we will respectfully call it redacted. Let's see. You might be able to get a good look at the dragon torch if we come down here real quick.
Oh, look at the little guardian secrets, all sleeping. You stay asleep.
It's Eepy. Big Eepy. Let's see. Do 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 do. So if we go down this little hole here, down the tiny little hole. Now, can we see it? No, we can't see it from here. But one thing we can see if we look at this, like, slightly broken wall is we see this really interesting design here. There's this interesting kind of design of something from the ancient Wyverian civilization. What it could be, honestly, your guess is as good as mine. For all we know, this might actually be some kind of blueprint on how to make Guardians that, you know, was lost to time.
Which is kind of a good thing.
True. I do think that at least for Monster Hunter Society, they would never want to recreate Guardians. So I think what it is like humans and Wyverians are like, they kind of like work together, but I think before, Wyverians and humans were not like allied, or maybe they were in the olden times. But the big thing is Wyveria was kind of the dominant civilization, whereas now it's very equal. And now the humans and Wyverians are like, okay, we're gonna make sure we don't take more than we need from the environment, and we don't mess with the environment, which is something that back in the day they didn't care about. Back in the day they were a lot more greedy.
They're like, we don't particularly care, but and like that's the one thing about, like, at least from my experience with World and even the stories, even though people are like, oh, Monster Hunter Stories is not actual true Monster Hunter, is they definitely, like, this whole game series is like, yes, they do fight monsters, they do obviously have to sometimes kill the monsters, but it's generally because, one, the monsters are a threat to the civilization, but they try to not get rid of them as far as, like, wipe out a whole species. It's all about balance.
It's always like, take what you need and nothing more. And I will say, some people who say that, like, oh, Monster Hunter Stories is not like real Monster Hunter, I'm like, that's silly. One of the things about Monster Hunter Stories that's really cool is you actually kind of get to see you get to see the hunters from the eyes of a different group of people, because in stories you're not a hunter, you're what's called a rider.
Yes.
And you get to interact with hunters as a rider, and sometimes you butt heads and sometimes you don't. It's very interesting in my opinion. But you know, it is very clear that it's all about like maintaining balance and not trying to cause problems, because problems bad.
Problem's very bad.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. I mean, sure. I remember it's just like, oh, well, these creatures, yeah, definitely. Because some creatures, like some monsters, obviously, we had the secrets, not the ones like we're writing and stuff. They can coexist with, you know, us and Wyverian, but other monsters are just like, nah, it's on site. And it's just like, but I'm just trying to get over there and go get a plant, please.
No, I understand. Yeah. Wait, what is? It says.
I was saying I can set up a camp.
I'm gonna have to try and set up a camp here at some point. This is actually very cool. I didn't know this area existed. There are actually still some areas in the zones that I have not seen, and this is one of them. Actually, it's very neat. Let's see. Oh, let's see.
Wait, can I actually? Set up camp.
Let's take a quick break.
There we go.
These pop-up camps are cool. I like how they added these into the game.
I have learned to step out of the. I have multiple times dropped the camp on me myself.
That's funny. I don't know. I guess I haven't actually dropped a camp on myself. Like, what happens when you drop the camp on yourself?
You just go flying backwards.
Oh, okay. I know this might sound really, really morbid, but I think it'd be really funny if you carded if you drop the camp on yourself.
I think you possibly can if you're low enough health. I generally don't do it when I'm low enough.
Makes sense. I don't know. Now I want to like test it and see if it's like something you can actually do. That'd be funny.
There's like, we give you an outline. You should be paying attention.
So this is where
I'm not paying attention when I'm setting a cap.
the wormways all begin.
Oh, that's the name. Oh, I've been trying
Yes.
to like remember what the name of these like structures are. It's like the Wormway and the Land Spire. I don't know why I forgot about that.
And it looks like DNA strands, which I thought was really cool. I was just like, okay, it's interesting that, you know, they decided to make this as more of like, it's actual DNA strands.
Mm-hmm. It's and it's good because like, you know, the DNA strands are going all throughout the land, kind
I
of
think we can mine this.
putting out energy to keep the ecosystems running. And it's just, I don't know, it's very cool. I guess the only thing is like, well, yes, this is DNA strands. I guess I probably would have liked it a little more if they looked more like blood vessels, you know, because that would make a lot more sense, in my opinion. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
There we go. Whoop.
Oh, I found the Fulgur Anjanath again.
I'm like, I heard a sound and I look up. There he is. Oh.
I think, okay, so I don't know if anyone else saw it on my screen. I saw Fulgur Anjanath, but I also saw Alma right next to the Fulgur Anjanath, and instead of being scared, Alma just like turned around and waved at me. And I'm like, Alma, what are you doing? Like, Alma, why are you waving at me when you are right next to something that can very clearly kill you?
Alma and gives no, at least she's not like Eric, where, you know, Eric decides to go like, oh yes, these poisonous flowers that can paralyze you, I'm gonna go follow it, and then just gets the love right now. I'm just like,
I can kind of get it. I can kind of get it for Eric. Eric is very much like, I'm going to go look at this and learn more about it. Alma is just like, hi, I'm next to this Anjanath, and I was just gonna look and wave at you, and I'm like, but
why is there a tempered one over here? Go, shoot.
Ah! We're learning things today, everybody. Oh. And while you guys are learning things today, another thing you could do is you can donate to our to either of our charity funds, as we are both raising money for the World Wildlife Fund UK branch. And guess what?
What?
Anjanath made me forget. So anyway, you should donate if you would like to donate. You should donate. It doesn't matter which person you donate to. Just if you can donate, help the World Wildlife Fund, help with conservation, and also help with education, as they will teach people who are near these ecosystems, who have regular interactions with some of the animals that need to be conserved. I think that's the right word. I don't know why I don't know if I'm thinking about the right word, but they need to be conserved.
Yes.
And
no,
they might
no,
not
sir,
know everything
please.
about them. They might not know everything about those animals, but the World Wildlife Fund will actually help educate these people, so that, you know, instead of just killing the animal because it's causing an inconvenience, they'll be like, oh yeah, we're gonna live in harmony with them, just like the hunters in Monster Hunter.
There we go. I was trying to get the Thunderbugs to set off and set it up by itself.
There you go. You did it. You did it. Awesome. Oh, look at this. Oh my god. I actually... Let me see. I'm gonna put on my ghillie mantle real quick. I want to try and get another one of those. I just want to like look at the shadow of the Fulgurangina. Conservation is a good term. Conservation is a good term. We like to conserve things. Conserving things is very cool. Oh my god, he is zooming. Fulguranginath is zooming. What else is here?
The weird chicken.
The weird chicken. Wait. I think there's something else that's coming. Maybe. Oh wait. Oh wait, this is all right. This is your environment. I thought I could see what monsters were on the screen for your environment, but it only shows the ones that are in my environment, which are a bunch of different monsters.
Yeah, because I have the Gashama and weird chicken, and the Anjanath. Because the Odogaran decided to say, "Nah, I'm going. Bye."
Understandable. Sometimes they want to leave. I'm trying to think. Is there? I'm gonna go and look at this area where the cocoons are. I want to see if we can capture some footage of a large guardian hatching, because that is actually like super cool if we get to see it. Problem is we have to like actually find a large guardian cocoon and see if it's gonna hatch.
Okay, Dogashama, I'm wearing my ghillie mantle. Just keep waddling away.
Just keep waddling, just keep waddling, just keep waddling.
Why are there two of you here? Oh, shoot.
Past and present really aren't so far.
Well, at least the Anjanath will be leaving soon.
Oh, tempered Cheryls left the locale. Bye, Gypseros.
I think the Dogoshama is coming towards you.
Oh, no. Please don't. Please do not.
Because I'm following it into the cocoon.
Oh.
Just gonna, go around you. You're fine. Ignore me. Don't see me.
Ignore all of it. Actually, hang on. Nope, that's just a regular sized one. Never mind. You know, one thing that's actually quite interesting about the Guardians, and something that I think warrants, that is probably going to be studied a lot more by the Monster Hunter ecologist, is that one monster that was a Guardian was a Guardian of an extinct monster called an Arkveld. And what's really, really interesting is now the Guardian Arkvelds that have come about have actually become full-fledged regular Arkvelds. So some type of evolution has happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of, at least what I think is probably going to be explored in future updates to the game, or maybe it won't be explored, I don't know. What I think should be explored personally is can a Guardian monster evolve enough so that it becomes a full version of the regular monster? What?
Anjanath.
No, Anjanath, no, Anjanath, it's bad. That is against the law.
There we go.
Ooh. Maybe I have to wait for a large cocoon to actually, like, show up as a thing here. What's over here?
Yes, nature does find a way.
That is true. Nature finds a way.
On my way there.
I wonder how much of, like, Jurassic Park inspires the game story.
Probably a lot. I mean, did you see that technically they cloned direwolves recently?
Oh yeah, that is true. They did clone direwolves. I saw them and they howled and it was actually very cute. I am moderately worried if they try to clone anything else. Just saying.
I'm just worried in general. Again, we have like what, 5 movies that says this is a bad idea?
Yeah, I guess, you know, it is possible that precautions have been made for this, but at the same time, nature is not something that can be controlled.
I mean, look at the Arkveld. It's not supposed to be able to eat, and yet it does.
Yeah. It's, and it's weird because, like, one of the things that they actually talked about was when the Arkveld ate, it was very clear that it wasn't even eating to sustain itself. It was eating just to eat because it figured out how to eat. And it was just like, I want to eat all the time because this is new and shiny.
You guys are kind of cute.
Wait, who are we looking at?
Oh, ow.
Oh no, what? What happened?
The porcupine decided to headbutt me. Or whatever. These guys.
Which guys?
Oh, the endemic life. The
Oh.
porcuplume.
Oh, okay.
They literally headbutted me. I'm like, okay.
What you
It's
think
gonna-
you'll find?
They can. Some of the endemic life here is very brave. I'll say that they're very brave.
They're like, we have to deal with the monsters. We have to deal with the bigger monsters on a daily. You're smaller than me.
You think I'm scared of you? I ain't scared of you. Let's see. I'm gonna try looking at some of these cocoons again and see if we find anything interesting. We don't. I will actually send you a DM of what I might suggest we do next.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Wait, there's a Zuwu here. Ooh, we should actually follow a Zuwu, I think. I think following a Zuwu would be very interesting because Zuwus are very interesting monsters, y'all.
Where are you on my map?
I found him and I'm gonna go get him. So let me open up the field guide real quick for y'all. We're gonna take a look at what Zuwu is. Zuwu, cephalopod predators whose prey include guardian monsters. The mucus secreted from their tentacles hardens quickly into sharp edges that resembles blades or spears. which is why some called Zuwu the piercing assassin. The sizable mouth hidden on the underside allows them to devour even rather large prey. So one thing that was very interesting is I believe Zuwu was a species that was discovered during the story of this game. I don't know if they had a name for it at the time. But this monster specifically evolved to eat guardians, which is strange because you would think that with how guardians are made and being artificial that nobody would actually eat them. But
this guy was just like, I'm going to do that.
Life found a way. Life truly found a way, and that's when Zuwu was created. So if you look here, you see this Zuwu up here. It's oh look, it's making its sharp little pointy things now with its mucus. Now, one thing I kind of wonder is how does it like sense what's around it?
Because it has no eyes, it looks like, almost.
It has no eyes, and I'm not sure it's similar to New Udra where it has sensory organs on the edge of its tentacles. So it makes me wonder.
And maybe the mucus?
That's possible, yeah. That might be a way how it does it. Or, you know, maybe it's similar to... There are some other animals in you know, IRL Earth world that they actually just sense vibrations of things. So perhaps because the underside, if we do get to see the underside of a Zuwu, like the entire underside is basically just a giant mouth with lots and lots of teeth. Maybe that underside part has some like sensory things that help it detect vibrations in the immediate area.
Maybe. Then it has, I think its secondary mouth is on the top of its head.
I wonder like what it would use that secondary mouth for, because I have not seen it use that secondary mouth for anything, but I assume it's got to be there for a reason. The one thing I have learned specifically with monsters and Monster Hunter is everything has a purpose. There is very little on monsters that is I think the correct word is vestigial. It's kind of funny. I only learned what vestigial meant because in like some class I was taking in middle school, they were like, the appendix is vestigial. And I was like, huh? And
off it goes.
Goodbye Zuwu. Let's we'll follow it. And like a lot of other and like, you know, New Udra, because it's a cephalopod, it doesn't have bones per se, so it can actually get into very, very, very small spaces and kind of go wherever it wants.
When I first fought the new Ouija, I was like, how are you moving so quickly? What's going on? And then I'm like, wait a minute, it's an octopus.
Yep.
It can go into the tiniest places.
Have you actually, like, I don't know how much you've, like, seen of octopuses, or octopi, or, you know, cephalopods in general, like, videos of them, but they're, like, actually really smart. Cephalopods can be very, very, very smart.
They
like,
are.
It's like, apparently, like, zookeepers have to enrich cephalopods the same way they would enrich, like, a 3-year-old child. It's very funny.
I love that. I think there's, like, one zoo where their octopus literally was just like, no, do not keep me closed in, and would just figure out how to open up the tank. Wouldn't leave it, but it's like, no,
I'm not going to do it because I can.
Yes.
There is, I know, I don't remember where, but there was somebody who had, like, I'm pretty sure it was, like, it was some kind of squid, but, like, the squid's favorite toy was a toy boat, and all it liked to do was pull the toy boat under and then let it go back up. And it was funny because sometimes when you watched it bring the toy boat under, it was literally just like the scene of like Pirates of the Caribbean where oh no, it's angry at us.
Nope.
The other thing is this cephalopod is very, very fast. No, but it was like that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where the Kraken just like devours the whole ship and just pulls it down, and like that's what it was doing with the toy boat. It was really funny.
That's a wall. That's another wall.
Oh.
Can I?
Oh.
Oh.
I got stabbed.
I was trying to go in the bush.
Oh, where's the bush? I see the bush. I see the bush.
Get in the foliage.
Can't see me.
Baby, don't get in the foliage.
Can't see me. Nope. Can't see me. Nope. Can't see me.
Oh, well, you're getting enough close and personal view of its mouth.
Can't see me. Can't see me. Can't detect me.
Listen, I am not on your food menu. Go away. I'm not a guardian. Leave me alone.
You know what's actually interesting? I do think we should probably head over to Sild at one point and talk about like the people that are over there, because that reminded me of something kind of interesting. Let's see. I want to see the Zoo do cool stuff, but at the same time, it might take a very long time. Okay, if you want to, let's head to Sild and talk about the people who are there, if you're up for that.
Yeah, where is roadmap?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, wait, I think you went to Suja.
Whoops.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, because the environment link got disbanded. Uh-oh.
I'll get ready too.
But yeah, Sild is still on the Ruins of Wyveria map. It's just like right over here.
Where is it again?
So if you go to the base camp,
Okay, base camp.
yeah, go to the base camp of Ruins of Wyveria. Then we'll make the environment link again.
Oh. Okay, and then where is No Nom Nom movie.
Nom nom.
No. There we go.
Yay. Oh wait, it's gotta fly me back to exactly where I was.
Yes.
Just in a different dimension.
It's in a different world.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we can actually just go this way to get the Sild. We're gonna go east away.
We're gonna go this way.
This away. We just go through this hallway.
Oh yeah, this place.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about the people here who are called the Keepers.
I will say that when we came to here originally, I was just like, oh, books. I'm a librarian.
Oh, cool. Lots of books. I wish we could read the books, but they don't let us read in this game.
Hunter, not smart. Hunter strong.
No. It's like you come by, you get the like, it's like you see book. Can I use book on monster? Can I bonk monster with book? If I can't bonk monster with book, I know what.
Exactly. Only book need. Monster book.
Mm-hmm. So here, these people here are called the Keepers. They all have this this garb that they wear, and what's interesting about this garb that they're wearing is it's actually made from the cocoons that the Guardians spawned from. And,
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And the reason they wear that is because when they put the hood over their head, they can actually walk out into the ruins of Wyveria and not really get bothered by the Guardians, because the Guardians can't detect them for whatever reason. Because it just sees them moving and it's like, it's a cocoon. They just think that for whatever reason, they think that the Keepers here, when they're walking around with like their hood up and these clothes on, that it's just a cocoon. It's not like a enemy or anything like that.
They're one of us.
Mm-hmm. That being said, that's kind of a double-edged sword, because if a Zuwu is there, it's going to be like, food!
Nah. Your food!
Mm-hmm.
But then it also didn't help but their English. It did not help them with the Arkveld, because the Arkveld was just like, yeah, no.
Yeah, Arkveld
everything on
just
site.
Didn't care. Arkveld was a very special case. The other thing, there's actually a side quest you can do in this game where it directly talks about how the clothing is used to like not be detected by Guardians, but that same clothing also got somebody hunted by a Zuwu, and I think it's actually one of the very few recorded deaths in the Monster Hunter franchise, because there's a lot of there's some like implied death, but there's never anything that is like there's never anything in any of like the quests that are like, this person died except for this. So like someone actually died in this game, which is crazy. But you know, they explained it. Yeah.
We're just gonna show that yes, hide from the Guardians. But oh, Rathalos. Hello.
Uh-oh.
Out in the wild, outside of like this area, it's either the Rathalos or the Rathian that is always just in my business, and I'm just like, please go away, please, please, please.
Mm-hmm. It's always this guy here. Always him.
Like, go back to your wife.
Almost here with the books, being a nerd. I actually do wish we could read these books, but they won't let us. It's not fair. This book's open, we don't get to read it. That's not fair. Hang on. Wait. Yeah, I was actually about to do that, but I didn't have the thing up. Can I read this book?
Nope.
No, that's not fair. Let me read.
But if you notice the sigil right here, that's almost similar to the marking at the bottom of the area we were in.
Oh,
almost similar.
Interesting. You know, that kind of makes me wonder. I wonder if like this symbol is just supposed to symbolize the land spire, and I don't remember the other name. But you know, it's supposed to symbolize the structure that goes through the entirety of the Forbidden Lands, just depositing energy into different areas. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be, because it does kind of like look DNA-ish. Interesting. So the people here, the Keepers, essentially what they do is they're preserving the history of ancient Wyveria, which also kind of includes them keeping an eye on the Guardians if they're able to. But, you know, their big thing primarily is just keeping this area preserved so that it is remembered and not like forgotten about, and so it doesn't like get lost to time. That's kind of their whole purpose here, I think. If I understood the story correctly.
What's also interesting, though, even though like they are keepers as far as like, yes, they are preserving Wyveria, but they're also, in a way, they are shouldering the past sins of ancient Wyveria because of the Guardians that they made. So they kept themselves away from the rest of the people here. No one knew that the keepers existed.
Not for a long time until, like, we just happened to find them because of Nata, who was like, I'm gonna go try to find help, and then was in a desert, and then we found him because we were on a giant flying ship.
And it took, like, from what I think is it was a couple, I think it was like a few years that it took them to, like, communicate with Nada, get together the expedition that sent us here, and then by the time we actually, like, met, like, the Windward people and then the Oil Basin people and stuff, and people were like, oh, well, technically you need to go all the way here to where the Wyverians live, but we haven't had contact with them for, like, a while because of the storm. They might be able to tell you where to go.
True.
But no one knew, except for the Wyverians, that these people actually existed.
Yeah. It's funny because the keepers kind of kept to themselves. Stupid words. I'm silly. The keepers kept to themselves. Yeah, you know, that's I think that's a lot of pretty interesting history about this whole area. It all kind of links together, which is very cool. I sent you a DM, Wolven, if you want to, like, take a look at that and tell me what you think.